Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to do a bike check update on my 2020 BigAL. Had this beast for 2 years. I pretty much upgraded everything except the brakes, which I will soon upgrade. This Shimano MT4000. They're not cutting it anymore, even though I put a 203mm rotor in the front. They're not doing it justice, but everything else has been upgraded, guys. New wheels, new fork, this trust message 130mm linkage fork. It's the newest addition to the bike, makes it look very different. The saddle is still Ragley, I forgot I haven't upgraded that. This is a 29er hardtail. I bought this bike from Chain Reaction Cycles. It's a UK based online retailer. SRAM cranks, Archer's Components Z1X Trail, great with the box. One components, Crank Brothers 592 wheels, Maxxis DHR and DHF tires. Love this bike, guys. It's a great hardtail all-arounder. Like I said, the newest addition is the fork, and this video I want to give you my first impressions on the fork. I haven't ridden it yet. I'm gonna do that tomorrow, and I'll give you my first impressions on the fork, guys. Stick around. Trust Performance and the Trust Message fork were the brainchildren of prolific suspension designer Dave Weigel. He is behind the DW Link, Split Pivot, Orion system, and the Delta linkage on Evo bikes. These are all linkage rear suspensions found in full suspension bikes, which offer great advantages for full suspension. Dave Weigel started working on this fork to help bring some of those advantages of rear suspensions to the front end. The Trust Message was one of 2 linkage forks offered by the now closed Trust Company. This fork offered 130mm of trail eating travel. The Shout, the other fork, offered 180mm of endurance shredding travel. Some of these forks' main features include constant mechanical trail, anti-dive linkage geometry, dual air springs, 1 on each leg, and 3-position compression adjuster. And it's completely made out of carbon fiber construction, minus the aluminum through axle and the bearings and other stuff, but the whole fork, guys, is made out of carbon fiber. It comes in around 2,000 grams, and the original price tag was $2,700, guys. But after a while, the forks went down in price, but I believe, in my opinion, this is something that hurt the most. I mean, the innovation is there. These things are overbuilt, and the $2,700 price tag was well deserved for the innovation and the fact that it's made of carbon fiber, but it was just way too much, especially when you put it against some of the best stuff from Fox and RockShox, which are like in the mid-1500s. One of the main designs or features of this fork, guys, is complete mechanical trail. The way I see it, it feels like a rigid fork, but it's very supple. It absorbs all the little bumps, especially when you come into little rocks, roots and stuff like that. You don't feel it that bad. I mean, it feels like you're riding a rigid fork, especially when you do hard braking. It doesn't dive in. When you take a corner at speeds, I'm not gonna say high speed because I don't really do high speed cornering, guys, but it feels different than a telescopic fork. It's hard to explain, but the easiest way to explain it is like feel like you're riding a rigid fork that transforms into a suspension fork where there's a hard bump. But when you don't need it, it's rigid and it's compliant. I mean, it's not gonna beat on your hands. It does really good over little bumps and rocks and roots and all the stuff that my trail has. It's great for trail riding. Yesterday was my first ride on it, and I'm giving you my first impressions, which are great. Fork feels compliant, feels great on turns, feels great on corners. When you're applying brake, it doesn't feel like you're losing half your travel. It's different, guys. It's not just a hype because I'm like 3 years late to the party, but it feels really good. It's a love it or hate it, and I absolutely love how it looks. A lot of people compare it to a praying mantis. To take a full advantage of this fork, guys, it's meant to be used in a full suspension bike. That way you get the benefit of the rear and the front. But I love my hardtails, so I put it on my BigAL. My BigAL had a Marzocchi Z1. Great fork, guys, really good. But I wanted to try something new. It gave a fresh look, better modern look to my hardtail. And till today, I'm not regretting it. I mean, I only ridden it one time. I might have to get used to some of the ways it handles, but that ride was really memorable. I really like it, so I don't think I'm going back to the Marzocchi. I am working on a full suspension build right now. I will try it on there, full carbon, full suspension bike, see how this works and compares to a telescopic. One of the things that held back this ride on the BigAL was my conditioning. I've been neglecting my conditioning and my health because of workload, but I need to get back, work out, get back on the horse so I can take full advantage of this fork. It's a great fork, guys. If you can find one, do your research. Make sure you don't end up with a knockoff. If you find one, I highly recommend it, guys. Even though they're not for sale, I wanted to bring you guys a little piece of history with this truss fork. Really great linkage fork, and I look forward to finding the shout. Alright, guys, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next time.
I did earlier. One of my favorite drops. You're just constantly going downhill. You know? And there's a climb at the end, which I suck at, but you know, it's fine. We live, we laugh, we learn. Come on, here's. Oh my God.